Shivoham, Stipin, Girish, Sudeep, Parvati Amma, Matkul Anand, GVK Raju, Rais, Rajender, and Sangam Gupta. Shivoham to all and welcome. Stipin Rajaratnam, Sagairaj, Prabhakar, and Gautam. Shivoham, Kumar Swami, Bridget, welcome and good evening to all of you. We are warming up to start a session of a new series of Friday evening talks. And you may wonder, I also don't know where the idea came from, but the thought came that we should be talking about the teachings of Guru Nanak. Now, why? I don't know. It came as a flash, and so we will talk about it. And my humble submission is that I do not actually read too much of saints. I pick up what is relevant. And when we were talking, I think we were talking with Hitkari ji the other day, and the thought of Guru Nanak came. And today I realized that we are going to be talking on various saints over the next few weeks. Guru Nanak, Vivekanand, Adi Shankara, Ramana Maharishi, Sivananda, Chinmayananda, whichever saint makes sense, in the sense that if they are on the same wavelength of enlightenment that we are all on, then we will go through it. So today we will be talking about Guru Nanak. Not so much about Guru Nanak, but his teachings. Who was he? We know he was the founder of Sikhism, one of the youngest religions. He was the first Sikh Guru. And what he's famous for is his teachings are compiled as the Guru Granth Sahib. So all these saints, like Guru Nanak and the rest I told you, they have taught the same truth that we discuss every day. But unfortunately, we don't interpret it correctly. And because we don't interpret it correctly, the scripture, which is very spiritual, very divine, gets lost. It disappears. What did Guru Nanak believe in? If those of you who read about Guru Nanak, he believed in all paths, all religions lead to one God. One of Guru Nanak's principal teachings is Ek Omkar, one God. There is one power. You know, unfortunately, I don't speak so much about Islam because I don't want to offend them. They get offended very easily. And that's why the only reason we don't speak about Islam is we don't want to offend them. Rais, who comes on the call, is a very dear friend of mine. And I think I saw Rais today also on the call. And I meet him in Kashmir every now and then. And I'm also going to meet Rais next month. So even in Islam, they say, La illa illillah. They say, La illa illillah, which means that Allah is everywhere. La illa illillah means there is the one divine everywhere. But I will, as I said, I don't like to comment too much on Islam because we don't want to offend them. But at that time when Guru Nanak was there was a lot of conflict between Hindus and Muslims. That was the main problem at that time. There were a lot of conflict and everybody was trying to fight with each other. And he said that man is not Hindu and Muslim. God is not Hindu and Muslim. And exactly, I don't know, it is incidental or what we have been talking in the last few days, Guru Nanak has preached exactly the same thing. Recently, you remember we spoke about Prabhu Paas Hai. Did I tell you all this bhajan? I didn't tell you all this bhajan. The bhajan is Prabhu Paas Hai, Kan Kan Mein Hai, Prabhu Hai Shakti, Param Shakti Wo Hai, Prabhu Hai Anant, Anadi Wo Hai, Prabhu Hai Amar, Sarva Shakti Wo Hai पास दूर नहीं प्रभु है शक्ति हर जीव में वो सर्व शक्ति है हर जगह वो प्रभु हर शय में सब कुछ है वो. गुरु नानक said the same thing. इनकरीज मैं कुछ गलत बोल रहा हूँ. गुरु नानक said the same thing. गुरु नानक said एक ओंकार सत्य नाम, which means that वो एक ही भगवान है, अलग अलग नहीं है. आप भगवान को अलग अलग नाम क्यों देते हैं? मत दो अलग अलग नाम, एक ही प्रभु है. So this is what the problem was. And even in today's world, the problem is we give God different names. किसी के लिए वो कृष्णा है, किसी के लिए शिव यीशु है, कोई ढूंढे उन्हें मंदिर में, ना जाने के वो अंदर है. वो परम शक्ति है, वो ना व्यक्ति ना मूर्ति है. हाँ वही शक्ति जिसकी सीमा नहीं, उनसे ये धरती चलती है. The point is that we unfortunately we don't take the words of a revered saint. What we do, we make that also a religion. We instead of believing in what he said, we just think of him as a god and we start following. So what is Guru Nanak's greatest message? I like this the best. You know what did Guru Nanak say? If you don't see God in all, Guru Nanak said, I don't know in Punjabi what he said, but in English, the translation, if you don't see God in all, then you don't see God at all. If you don't see God in all, then you don't see God at all. You know, God, according to Guru Nanak, Prabhu, Anant, Anadi, same thing. But we have gone and created so many confusing beliefs. There were so many other gurus after him, and then there were so many problems, and then they had to fight because of the circumstances. Okay, fine, with all due respect. But Guru Nanak's teachings, we are today concentrating on Guru Nanak's teaching. And therefore, as the leader of Sikhism, he was considered to be the enlightened one. Guru Nanak, if you see, they'll always portray him with a halo because he was the enlightened one. No Hindu, no Muslim. They said there should be no conflict. And everybody called him a guru because he said everybody has a right to enlightenment. He said, हर एक प्रभु पा सकता है. According to Guru Nanak, anybody can be liberated. You don't have to be a Brahmin. At that time, it was only Brahmins. If you were a Sudra or a Vaishya, you could not. So he said, no, there's no caste system. And Guru Nanak said one more very important thing. He said, no male and female, no gender. He said, no. God does not belong to any religion. And I don't know exactly why, but I believe Sikhism, Sikh means a seeker. Is it right? Sikhism comes from the word Sikh. और Sikh वो है जो सच चाहता है, जो प्रभु चाहता है. He's a Sikh, means he wants. That word Sikh means seeker. And that is what Sikhism is about. But well, Guru Nanak spoke of many good things, my dear friends. If you speak to those who follow Guru Nanak, they will tell some principles. I don't know very much of them. They would say, Vand Chako. I think Hitkariji will tell us more about this if he knows. Share whatever God has given you. Vand Chako means share it with others. Why? Why should you share? This is the point we don't understand, right? Because har insan mein Bhagwan hai. That's why we should share. Because everyone is a seeker. I see Ajitek's message popping up on the screen saying that a Sikh is a seeker of spiritual enlightenment. Thank you, Ajitek, for I normally miss the messages on the screen. Then he said, Guru Nanak said, Kirat karo. What is Kirat karo? Means be honest in your living. When you're making a living, be honest. Because the point Guru Nanak said, Are tum kya karega? Itna kama ke tum kya karega? Do you all know, have I told you all the story of Guru Nanak, what happened? One very rich man, one very, very rich man, followed Guru Nanak. He was in love with Guru Nanak as a Guru, 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 Guru. And Guru Nanak, okay, he was a rich man. For Guru Nanak, it didn't matter, rich or poor. But this man was crazy about Guru Nanak. So he went, he told him, you must come for dinner to my house. So this Guru Nanak went for dinner, and they were talking about spirituality and all that. Then Guru Nanak, when he was going, he told him, this is a very important needle of mine. He gave a very important needle. He said, this is a very important needle. Please don't lose it. You keep it carefully for me. So he gave that needle. I'm sure all of you who follow would know it. So when he gave that needle, when Guru Nanak gave that needle, that man kept it safely. But then in the night, that man's wife told him, hey, you fool, you have taken this needle from the Guru. Correct. What happens if he dies tonight? How will you go to heaven and return to him? How will you go back to the Guru and return the needle? So this man, he literally went running to Guru Nanak and said, this needle, I'm sorry, I can't keep. Guru Nanak said, what's the problem? He said, if something happens to you, then how will I be able to return this to you? Then this man realized, I have so much money. If I can't return one needle, if I can't take one needle with me, which Guru Nanak asked me to keep, then what will happen to all my money and wealth and jewels? And what will happen? I can't take one needle. So this was a lesson Guru Nanak taught him. So what he says, kirat karo. Kirat karo means live an honest, do an honest livelihood. Don't exploit people. Don't try to become greedy. What will you do with this? अंत में तो सब छोड़ के जाना है. Everything will be left behind. And he said, Naam japo. Guru Nanak said, Naam, keep on repeating the name divine. And I think we'll come to he used to say, I think it was Vaheguru. So Vaheguru means the supreme. That was his way of calling the supreme. But my dear friends, what we are trying to go to the beliefs of these supreme saints and trying to understand how every day what we are talking on this call is what these supreme saints have spoken. So when Guru Nanak, he said, submit to the will of Vaheguru. He said, Vaheguru, right? Everything happens by the God's grace. He said, God knows better what is right and wrong. So surrender. What was Guru Nanak's mantra to his divine disciples? Accept and surrender. Don't have a grudge. This is the principal teaching of Guru Nanak. He said, when something goes wrong, what happens when something goes wrong? We start crying, we start objecting, we say, oh God, what happened? Oh, we don't want to accept the will of God. But we don't realize that in the will of God is our highest, is the best thing for us in life. Our wellness is in the hands of the divine. We have to learn to surrender, but we don't surrender. That is the problem. So Guru Nanak, what we speak every week, don't we speak every now and then? That two things don't forget to do: accept and surrender. And this is what Guru Nanak said. Guru Nanak spoke about the Panch Vikar. Panch Vikar, again, we talk of them very often. What did Guru Nanak call it? He said, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. He said these are Panch Vikar, the 5 evils that ruin our life. He told inside the body, he said these are 5 thieves, Guru Nanak used to say. I think Panch Vikar, what it means, I'm not very good in Punjabi. So in the Panch Vikar, he says Kam. Kam is basically lust or sexual desire. Krodh, anger. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, greed. Then Moh, attachment. And Ahankar, the ego. He taught that remove these 5, these Panch Vikar. He says, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. Because these are the ones that stop you from realizing God. So Guru Nanak kept teaching his disciples the importance of all these things. And many people appreciated Guru Nanak and started calling him Guru. That's why he was called, earlier he was Nanak, right? His name was Nanak. And then he became Guru Nanak because people accepted him as a Guru. And he explained the importance of a guru. He said, without a guru, you cannot find God. Guru Nanak said very clearly, Guru is prime. If you want salvation, if you want the path of, you want to go towards the science of the soul, the Guru is nothing but a manifestation of God. According to Guru Nanak, the Guru's voice is the voice of God. The true Guru will lead us to salvation. It is the true Guru who will show us the path of enlightenment. He will teach us what is discrimination. Therefore, it is so important for us to find a Guru. Because sometimes I look at my life, when Dadaji, my Guru Dadaji used to follow Guru Nanak a lot. Dadaji used to follow and even read the Guru Granth Sahib a lot. And, if I did not have a Guru in my life, I don't know where I would be. I would be in some street, in some corner, with being miserable, suffering body, mind, and ego, if it was not for the Guru. And Guru Nanak laid so much emphasis on having a Guru in one's life. So this is one of the most important things that Guru Nanak taught. He said, no, you must have a Guru. And what do the Sikhs believe in after Guru Nanak's lifetime? They've coined the God to be called Vaheguru. That's why they call God only Vaheguru. Everything in Sikhism is about the Guru. And who is Vaheguru? That creator who has got everything created as per, I think, what he called hukum. Correct? I think they called it is his hukum. Unka hukum hai. Hukum means it is his direction. Who's Vaheguru? And then he said, Vaheguru is ineffable, which means that you cannot define Vaheguru. That's why he said Vaheguru. You cannot, the Lord defined is the Lord denied. We cannot define God with name and form, but we give pictures and we put God in our temples, and we make so many pictures. And some of you, every morning you spend 20 minutes with 10 agarbattis going from one God to another God. And then, so what is this? Guru Nanak said, what is all this? Guru Nanak said, no, what's all this? So he said, God cannot be described. God is not male or female. God is eternal. God is beyond time and space. God is, you cannot say God was from this date to this date. No. Time is just a creation of the divine. God is timeless. And God cannot be given a shape or a form. No, God is beyond space. God is beyond the cycle of birth and death. So this is what Guru Nanak said. Guru Nanak said that creator of Vaheguru is a divine spark. And the divine spark is there in all beings, is the soul. हितकारी जी आप तो पढ़ते हैं, गलत बोल रहा हूँ, कुछ सही बोल रहा हूँ या कुछ गलत बोल रहा हूँ? So this is Guru Nanak. This is Guru Nanak. Ajita is also there. Hitkari is there. We have got 2 followers at least who I can see because they wear the turban. We respect them as the followers, but many others who don't wear a turban follow Guru Nanak. I think even Kiran Kathuria must be following Guru Nanak. Ashok Nichani also must be following. Many of you follow. I think even Dasi Budrani follows Guru Nanak. I think many of you are followers. I'm not sure, because to me, God has never been one with a name and form. Of course, for 40 years, I believed in Lord Shiva. But while I believed in Lord Shiva, I kept the point clear that God is one. And Guru Nanak gave some very beautiful quotes. He said, Guru Nanak said, the world is a drama.
Air, you're frozen. You're frozen, Air.
Now comes Surinder Goyal. He's also a follower of your most.
You're frozen, Air.
There is no place where there is no Vaheguru. So this is what This is what he spoke. He spoke.
Air, you're frozen. Can't hear you.
Dear.
Air, we can't hear you.
Okay, now am I back?
No, Air, you're still frozen. We lost you last 5 minutes. We've lost you.
Last 5 minutes.
Yes, yes.
So now you can or you can't hear me.
It's dragging still, frozen still. Completely frozen.
Okay, now can you hear me? Now can you?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So I think you lost me quite a bit. Did you? But I hope we will get back. We'll get back on track soon. So this is a problem sometime where we are not able to get the signal. I'm just trying to see whether. Okay, Administrator, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
I'm sorry for this this issue. So Guru Nanak said, he said, as fragrance abides in the flower, as reflection is within the mirror, so does the Lord abide within you. Why are you searching outside? So how often have we not said that bhajan? Don't we say, हिरन कैसे ढूंढता है कस्तूरी बेचैन से, ना जाने वो के ये नाभि में है ये, वैसे ही भोले तुझे ढूंढता मैं, बेचैन हूँ मैं तुझे ढूंढता मैं, अंदर तू मेरे बाहर ढूंढता मैं, बाहर ढूंढता मैं, बाहर ढूंढता मैं. Let me unmute, administrator. Let me unmute the other thing section. So the point is, Guru Nanak has been teaching exactly what we have been talking. So I'm requesting to be unmuted. Thank you. I hope you can hear me now from this one.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So what can we do? Suppose signal goes. Ye to the signal went of the Zoom call. Suppose my live signal goes, then what can I do? Well, this is what the Guru said. जब signal जाना है तो जाएगा. हम क्या कर सकते हैं? We have to surrender. We have to accept. So in the minutes that I have left, Guru Nanak gave what is most famous, known as the Mool Mantra. The Mool Mantra, right? So we are going to touch that before we get on to question answers. What did Guru Nanak say? I think the opening section of the Guru Granth Sahib, if I'm not mistaken, is called the Mool Mantra. And that is the essence of the teaching of Guru Nanak. What did he say? He said, Ek Omkar Satyanam Karta Purukh Nirbhav Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Sahibang Guru Prasad. सही बोला, गलत बोला मैं? सही है? Just for the sake of those who are like me, who are learning the Mool Mantra, there is only one God. His name is the only truth. Satyanam, Ek Omkar, one God. Satyanam, his name is the name of the truth. Karta Purukh, he is the creator. Nirbhav, fearless. Akal Murat, immortal, Ajuni, beyond birth and death, Saibam, right? Guru Prasad. Guru Prasad means you can only attain the divine through the grace of the Guru. You need a Guru. Look at what Guru Nanak said. How profound, my dear friends. Guru Nanak said, you cannot attain enlightenment without a Guru. Now, this is not what I am saying. I also say it. If there was no Guru, I would not have been able to attain what I have attained today. I would not be able to speak what little I speak to you. I don't claim that I know too much, but whatever little I know or whatever little I have realized it with the grace of the Guru and the divine. Because my bhakti for Lord Shiva lasted for 40 years. And it was true bhakti, true love, true divine love for the Lord. So I suggest that you all try to capture the essential teachings in the Mool Mantra. Ekomkar, Satyanam, Karta Puruk, Nirbhav, Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni, Saibang, Guru Prasad. God is one. God's name is the eternal truth. God is the supreme soul creator. God doesn't fear. There's no fear or malice or hate. No. God is timeless and formless. God is beyond birth and death. He always existed and he will continue to exist. God was not created by anybody. And God can be attained by the grace of the Guru. Of course, we have stopped using the word God rightly. And Guru Nanak's teachings, if you notice, are telling us that Vaheguru is the supreme immortal power. What Guru Nanak said, Vaheguru, is what we say. But I don't know. I think many Sikhs will pray as Guru Nanak is God. I think many of the Sikhs will pray, Guru Nanak is God, Guru Nanak is God. So they pray to him, but they don't follow his teachings. So no, what is the use of praying to him, but not following his teachings? Then it's of no use. His teachings are divine. But the moment when teachings, it's exactly like Buddha. We'll even have one session on Buddha. Administrator, please make note. We will have one session on Buddha. Buddha, what he taught, Buddhists don't know. I go to any Buddhist and ask him, can you please explain Nirvana? He'll say, oh, I will tell you. I've asked 5, 6, 7 people who are Buddhists, but they can't explain Nirvana because they become dogmatic. They follow the rituals, the superstitions, and the focus on the original teachings is lost. So, my dear friends, this was a small snapshot of Guru Nanak, a great saint of humanity. Right? So was Adi Shankara. So was Vivekananda and Buddha. Next week, I'm thinking of talking to you all on Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara, who wrote the famous words, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Very interesting story of Adi Shankara when he was 8 years old. But I will keep that for next week. Next week, we will talk on Adi Shankara, the teachings of Adi Shankara. And it's very funny because while Adi Shankara continues the mutt to have religion in the front, I went and asked, I am a very, very, very dear to the Shankaracharya of Sringeri. He's one of the descendants, or what do you call, he's the Adi Shankara of the southern mutt. And he inaugurated our temple in 1993, 28 years ago. He inaugurated the temple. And I went and asked him so many questions about Adi Shankara. But that we'll keep for next week. My dear friends, today I am inviting you to follow the teachings of Guru Nanak. I am requesting you, don't get into the rituals and the dogma. No, please take the original teachings. And I am suggesting for the moment, focus on the Mool Mantra. Focus on the Mool Mantra, the essential teachings. And don't get lost. Don't get lost, because just like how the lights behind me have gone completely dark. You see, there is darkness, andhakar. And when there's andhakar, I remember a beautiful song I wrote when I was in a ship and I was in the middle of the ocean and there was complete darkness. And I wrote, Hu main jahaz भव सागर में जाता कहाँ जानू न मैं, अंधकार में कुछ ना दिखा बढ़ता गया समुंदर में. We are like a ship in a dark ocean, and we are going. If we don't have a guru, like Guru Nanak said, without the guru, then we are just going into the dark ocean without having any direction. So with that note, I am asking all of you to, I told you, you must ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, it can be about Guru Nanak, it can be about any subject of spirituality, of enlightenment. But don't lose track of your questions, and don't stop walking forward on the path of your enlightenment. The biggest, my dear friends, the biggest gift, the treasure of your life is not your money, your wealth, your name, your fame, your family, your relationships. A lot of people come and tell me, you know, the most important thing in life is relationships. I smile. I say, okay, they may be the second most important thing, but the most important thing is your relationship with SIP, the supreme immortal power, your realization of the divine. So with that, administrator, you can mute and start with questions, please. Question. And live questions first.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Ravi, this is Budrani here. I just want to let you know, today in the morning, Arjun Malwani in Hong Kong passed away. You must have heard about that news, sad news.
Hong Kong.
Arjun Malwani in Hong Kong. Hello?
Sir, actually, आपका mic
Please
mute है.
unmute yourself.
Yes, Dasi, I'm not in Bangalore, so I would get to know that probably you have told me, and I will get more news of it.
He's my cousin. He was my cousin. But what you said is correct, because he was very rich. His son is in Blackstone, everything. But he not a needle he has taken with him.
So Dasi, our turn will come, right? Our turn, we don't know whether our turn will be today or tomorrow or after 5 years or 10 years, or like Dada, we will continue till 100. We don't know, Dasi.
We don't know, correct. But I'm just saying he was 93, but he left the body without a needle.
So anything. And we have to realize that today or tomorrow, Dasi, those who will be left behind, they will have to fend for themselves. Correct,
Exactly.
Dasi?
Absolutely.
His family cannot go back and pull him out of the grave and tell him to continue to lead them or to help them or to manage them.
You're right. This is what I feel.
So what, Dasi, this every death that I come across makes me realize that we should open our real eyes. We have to open our real eyes to the fact that every body will die. Every body. Only the body will die.
See, Ravi, I'm making all efforts, but it's a task.
So each of these days is an eye opener, no, Dasi? Each of these days reminds you. It's a bell. It's a bell to tell you, prepare for what lies beyond, Dasi. Get ready for what lies beyond, because what you are doing in this world will not matter. It is meaningless.
Right. No. Yeah, absolutely.
So I know.
I'm grasping the facts, the truth.
Yeah.
So as we go along, but it's not an overnight situation. It's a question of taking time.
No, I know you're a very keen seeker, and you're trying very hard to be free and to be mukt and to be liberated. But remember that sometimes we have to push a little more. That's all.
Okay, with blessings.
With the divine, all the grace of the divine. And
hello, sir. I am Pranshu Katyal from India.
Yes, please.
Sir, I want to ask one question.
Haji.
Sir, every time I feel depressed.
Every time you feel depressed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And ऐसा है कि सर मुझे हर टाइम सर suicidal thoughts आते हैं.
Okay.
Because सर जब मेरी एज 20 है. Okay. When I was 16, okay, my father passed away.
Okay.
So उनके जाने के बाद सर मेरे साथ ऐसा होने लग गया सर, काफी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज के बाद, फैमिली इश्यूज के नाम, प्रेशर्स के कारण.
Can you explain to me? You say, right, I feel depressed, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you please explain to me what you mean? What do you mean by saying I feel depressed?
Sir, I feel depressed because of my career, family pressure, family issues.
What are the issues that you feel depressed about?
Uh, Sir, actually the relation between my mother and with me is not good.
Okay. You're not the only person in this world who doesn't have a good relationship with your mother. There are millions who are like you.
Yes, sir.
So what I want you to realize, my dear, I can call you Pranshu, right?
Yes, sir. Pranshu Katyal.
Pranshu, the mind is our enemy. Who is making you depressed is your own mind. It is not my mind. And it is
Yes, sir.
not somebody who passed away, or it is not your neighbor or your friend, not even your mother. Even though you may not have very good bond with her, it is your own mind that's causing stress. You know, depression comes first with a lot of negative thoughts that become stress, anxiety, depression, and then suicidal thoughts. This is the order how it flows. I hope you're getting what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there are only two good solutions. One solution is to replace NEP with PEP. Replace negative thoughts like fear, hate, worry, anxiety, regret. All these are negative emotions. Replace them with positive emotions like humor, faith, hope, love, courage, confidence, forgiveness, optimism. Bring positive emotions, fill your life with positive emotions. Then the negativity will slowly get out of your life. Point one.
Okay.
Point two, if you are on this call, if you come on this call every day we talk about how this world is like a drama. Dasi Budrani just now told that one of his very rich cousins passed away today. Correct?
Yes,
You
sir.
said your
Yes.
father passed away, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
How long are you going to be here? You and me are also going to move on.
Yes, sir.
This world is like a drama. Now, because it's like a drama, we are actors, we come on the stage and we do our part and we go. Now, your mother may be doing something based on her karma. You don't have to react. You learn to respond. Because you're reacting, you're creating more stress for yourself. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. You are right.
So one of the things of your suicidal thoughts or depression is because of your relation. Suppose tomorrow your relationship, your mother becomes very good, then you will not be so depressed.
Yes, sir.
And you can work towards it. You can't change your mother, but you can change yourself.
Yes, sir.
So try to do that. And try to bring some positive thoughts.
Okay.
And always, Pranshu, before I move away from you, always count your blessings. Don't look at what you have lost. Look at what you have left. Count your blessings. I always love this. I looked at the man. I had the blues because I had no shoes. I had the blues because I had no shoes. Until upon the street, I saw a man who had no feet. Sometimes we are unhappy because we have no shoes. But what about that man who has no feet? What would you prefer? Today you have eyes. I can see you're healthy. You have eyes. You look smart. Why let small things cause depression, Pranshu? Learn to look at the brighter side of life. Right? And
yes, sir. Sir, do you believe in astrology?
Haji?
Do you believe in astrology or not?
What?
Astrology.
Astrology. What do you want to believe in astrology about?
No, sir, I want to ask with you, do you believe in astrology or not?
No, depends what you mean by astrology. Your question is a very wide question. It's just like saying, do you believe that I am alive? Of course I am alive. but I'm not the body that is alive. So astrology is the study of the planets, all right? The study of the stars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but what people say that ye kundali and this, I don't believe in all that, because nobody can control the movement of the stars. And just because
Yes,
somebody
sir.
writes out your kundali or your janam patri and tells you this, you should not believe that.
Okay.
Thank you. Please join us every day and you will feel better and better. Join every day.
Yeah.
7:30
Okay.
on
Thank
Friday.
you so much, sir.
Thank you. 8 o'clock every day. Next administrator.
Yes.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
Yes. Namaskar.
सर नमस्कार सर, सनी बात कर रहा हूँ सर.
बोलो सनी.
हाँ सर, एक्चुअली मुझे ये पूछना था कि सर जैसे किसी की डेथ हो जाती है, उसके जाने के बाद जो उसके कुछ सिम्टम्स होते हैं या कुछ भी एनर्जीज या हमारे माइंड के अंदर कुछ मेमोरीज होती हैं, अगर वो हमें चीज फील हो तो क्या हम ये चीज माने कि वो पर्सन क्या कहते हैं, उसकी जो एनर्जीज है वो हमें कुछ मूव ऑन बताना चाहती है? अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, जहां तक मुझे समझ में है, वो पूछना चाह रहा हूँ सर.
My dear Sunny, when a person dies,
यस.
is there any energy left in that person? Is there any energy left in that person? If there was some energy, would we burn the body?
यस.
We would not burn the body if there was energy in the body, correct?
यस.
The body is completely dead. That's why we burn the body.
बिल्कुल सर.
So don't believe that his energy has merged with the supreme energy everywhere. There is a supreme energy everywhere. But we think, you know what? A lot of people think that your soul is different from my soul. A lot of people, even today, somebody asked me, is your soul and my soul different? Is
Yes,
your
sir.
soul, does your soul carry your karma and my soul carries karma? No. Your soul and my soul, what Guru Nanak said today, is one. It's one divine spark. What is the word he used? Is it Ajuni or what is the word in Punjabi? I don't know what he used that word. That Guru Nanak said that the Vaheguru is in everybody. Each one of us is a manifestation of the divine power. Therefore, don't get carried away, Sunny. Please don't believe in these stories. These stories stop you from enlightenment. These
Okay.
stories destroy your realization. Please don't believe in them. Alright?
सर कभी कभार क्या होता है, जैसे कि हमें ना किसी चीज के बारे में पता नहीं होता. अभी मैंने जितने भी सेशन अटेंड करे उतना ही मैंने आपसे सीखा कि जब तक आप खुद रियलाइज ना कर पाए, हम किसी चीज को बिलीव ना करें.
बिल्कुल.
लेकिन बचपन से क्या होता है, हमारी सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में डिकोडिंग कर दी जाती है फैमिलीज के द्वारा, या ऐसी बार बार वो चीजें आती है, तो कभी कभार हमें वो एहसास होने लग जाता है. उस चीज से हम कैसे बाहर निकले?
अरे बहुत सिंपल है. When you were in school, what did they teach you, Sunny? Practice makes what they taught you.
मैन परफेक्ट.
100% wrong. जो पे आपको 100 बार सिखाया गया, practice makes man perfect. आपने बोला, मैंने नहीं बोला. It is 100% wrong. I'm asking you a question today. Will practice make you perfect?
No.
No, I'm asking you. आपने बोला, practice will only make what? Practice will make improvement.
बिल्कुल
And
बिल्कुल
more practice will make more improvement.
बिल्कुल सर.
Then why they taught us in school practice makes man perfect? Even today they are teaching in school. Even today teacher must be shot dead. Teacher को गोली मारना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल सर.
Because आज भी बच्चे का सिखा रहे हैं ना.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल राइट सर.
आज भी सिखा रहे हैं कि शिवजी ने अपने पुत्र का सर काटा और हाथी का सर काटा और हाथी का सर उसके ऊपर डाला. आज भी सिखा रहे हैं ना बॉस.
बिल्कुल सर.
So don't believe. These are fairy tales. Please don't believe in fairy tales. Please grow beyond it. Till today, you know, I feel like shooting Christians because they're teaching their children Santa Claus. Every Christmas, now 25th go, they will tell their children, dashing through the snows in a one-horse open sleigh, all the way he goes, jingle bells.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
Why you are
सर.
lying to your children? You are only putting the gift on the tree and you are cheating the children and telling Santa Claus is coming. Why you are lying to the children?
बिल्कुल
Sunny,
सर.
मान लिया what I'm trying to explain
बारे
to you,
सर
Sunny?
बिल्कुल 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 सर.
तो ये झूठी बातें हैं. Okay, take it out from your head. Thank you. Next
थैंक यू सो
question.
मच
please.
सर.
Thank you. Next question.
Namaste, sir.
Rekha.
Yes, sir. Sir, Guru Nanak, he was like enlightened person, or he was like Krishna and all. Like how he was.
Krishna is prehistoric.
हाँ,
Krishna is prehistoric का मतलब क्या है बोलो?
मतलब जिनके बारे में सिर्फ कहानियों में सुना है, शायद सच है या नहीं है।
Prehistoric means there is no written proof. Because see, this is what the basic, we don't learn ABC. Then we want to become PhD. If you don't learn ABC, some people become PhD without learning ABC. ऐसे भी लोग हैं. So the point is this: somebody told 5,000 years back something happened. And 5,000 years back, people did not know to write. There was no pen and paper. So then only how do we know? There was no camera.
नहीं, वो मोर पंख से लिखते थे ना, मोर पंख से
न कभी 500 साल पहले नहीं लिखते थे.
नहीं लिखते थे।
अब है, दिखाओ मुझे कृष्णा का स्टोरी, दिखाओ मुझे फोटोग्राफ है.
मतलब मोर पंख से ऐसे लिखा जाता है और पेड़ के पत्तों पे लिखते थे।
दिखाओ मुझे. आपको पता है कितना टाइम पेड़ के पत्तों लास्ट होते हैं, आप जानते हैं? है ऐसे भी कोई? ओके, तो रेखा, जस्ट टू टेल यू, गुरु नानक वाज, आई थिंक ही इज ओनली फॉर 500 years. हितकारी जी कितने 500-600 साल पुराने हैं? 500 years. तो जस्ट फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन, गुरु नानक इज ओनली 500 years. उसके मतलब है आपके ग्रैंडफादर के टाइम में वो थे. Are you understanding? Guru Nanak is just, he was not a fairy tale man. He is not like वो कोई हनुमान जो जय हनुमान की जय, वो बजरंग बली की जय, उसकी मंकी टेल है और गणपति जैसे हाथी का. No, Guru Nanak was a live saint. I hope you understand the difference. He was not a
enlightened person. Yeah.
Enlightened की बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे. He was a living saint.
Okay.
He was a living saint and he was a guru, and he was trying to create Hindu Muslims not to fight with each other, and he tried to remove the caste system and the gender inequality, and he tried to bring about the realization of the truth when he said Ek Omkar Satnam Vah. So he gave the whole that Mool mantra. Okay, so he's a real guru. He was. आप भी एनलाइटेंड हो सकते हैं ना. आप लोग एनलाइटेंड के बारे में ऐसे बात करते हैं कि अगर कोई एनलाइटेंड हो जाता है, you think he will be flying in the sky. What is the many people on this Zoom call are enlightened. Let me tell you, maybe there are 1%, 2%, 5% more to go before they will start flying in the Zoom call. Then you will see that they were flying the room, they will be flying. Suddenly you will find that 4 people are flying in the Zoom call. Then you will believe. We people, we want miracles to happen. You know what, to believe in God, we want miracle to happen. The sea should the sea should go aside and people should walk between the sea. Then we feel, wow. Let us stop seeking miracles from God. Let us learn to believe and trust God. Okay, Rekha, और कुछ?
बस इतना ही.
Thank you. Next question, please.
नमस्ते सर.
नमस्ते तुषार मोदी.
हाँ सर, नमस्ते सर. ये पहले सर आपने जैसा अभी कहा सर कि मतलब कोई 5,000 साल पहले हम लिख नहीं पाते थे, वैसे बहुत पहले हमारे पूर्वजा बहुत पहले जो जन्म लिए उन्होंने ना कम्युनिकेट कर सकते थे, ना एक दूसरों से बोल सकते थे, ऐसा बताया जाता. क्या सच है हमें नहीं पता, परंतु अब उनको ना माइंड क्या है नहीं पता, उनको कॉन्शियसनेस कुछ भी नहीं पता, बट उनको मौका नहीं मिलता, मतलब एनलाइटमेंट का मौका नहीं मिलता. व्हाई दे हैव टू सफर? आई डोंट नो सर. व्हाई दे हैव टू सफर? व्हाई द गॉड क्रिएटेड दिस मनुष्य जन्म, ऑल द संसारम? व्हाई दिस? I go there and I stuck the mind. Why?
So you are worried about what happened 5,000 years ago?
Yeah, 5,000 and so on beyond that. When people cannot communicate with each other, sir, अपने एक दूसरों से ना कभी उनको मतलब साउंड्स के बारे में भी नहीं पता था कि ऐसा साउंड्स रहते हैं.
My dear Tushar, why are you worrying about what happened 5,000 years ago? What you want to worry about is what is happening today. Correct? You don't want to worry about what happened 5,000 years ago. So that you focus today. आज क्या हो रहा है आपके लाइफ में? आज आपको एनलाइटनमेंट चाहिए, आज आपको क्या चाहिए? So focus on today. आपके ग्रैंडफादर के आपको, can I ask you a question? Do you know the name of your grandfather's grandfather?
No, sir.
Then you are worried. 500 years back, what happened? You don't know. 5,000 years back, you are worrying. Why are you worrying? What happened 5,000 years ago?
Yes. Yes.
Don't
But
worry about it. My suggestion to you,
yes.
you worry about your life. You worry about your liberation. You worry about your nirvana, moksha, your happiness, your purpose, your health, your well-being. Ask questions about you and your enlightenment. That is what this call is, for making you happy, to give you purpose, to give your life meaning. That is why we meet every day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please join us every day. Thank you.
Yes.
Who else would like to ask questions? Administrative. Yes.
It's a typed question.
Yes, please.
How did God create our souls?
How did God create our souls?
Neha is asking.
It is just like asking, how did the ocean create the waves? How did the ocean create the waves? The ocean appears as the waves. The ocean does not in its way creates waves, because the wave comes from the ocean and it goes back into the ocean. The soul is nothing but the supreme immortal power that we call God. God did not create souls. God appears as the soul in Hitkari, in Sanjay Das, in Samita, in Parvati Amma, in Sudeep, in everybody on this call. Each one of us is that supreme immortal power. And what we are thinking God created a soul. Just like Haldiram creates bundi ka halwa. No, Haldiram may create halwa. That is okay. But Haldiram creating halwa is the man creating a product. But God manifests as the soul in you and me. And the soul manifests as the body, mind, ego. So this is, unless you go on the quest, otherwise your head will start spinning. What is this man talking? Kya bol raha hai? Your head will start spinning. So to answer the question, repeat the question again, please.
How did God create our souls?
God is the soul. And God is not God. God is a supreme immortal power. Sip. Sip is the soul. Sip is God. Sip is you. Sip is me. Sip is the sun, the moon, the stars, the birds, the animals, the flowers. If you go, every morning I walk through about 200 pigeons in my office. 200 pigeons, we feed them dana. And I walk through 200 of them and they fly all over me. And I feel Sip flying in 200 beautiful creatures. Try it. Try and experience Sip. Sip is everywhere. Huh? Next question, please. Live questions first. Typed questions, please wait. Let's give people a chance to ask live questions. All those who are on the call today, live questions first.
गुरुजी प्रणाम।
प्रणाम माता जी, बोलिए।
गुरुजी, जब हम किसी की डेथ होती है, आजकल तो नहीं पर पहले तो क्रिमेशन ग्राउंड लोग जाते थे उनकी लास्ट सेरेमनी करने के लिए। जब हम लोग जाया करते थे उस टाइम तो ऐसा लगता था कि यू आर फेस टू रियलिटी। मतलब हमें सब मतलब यही लगता था कि भाई, और लगता है कि भाई वर्ल्ड इज नथिंग, है ना, कुछ भी नहीं है, हम आए और हमें ऐसे ही जाना है। मतलब वी आर वन विद गॉड। पर जैसे ही हम लोग बाहर आते थे क्रिमेशन ग्राउंड से, तो फिर जो थोड़ा थोड़ा फर्क आना शुरू हो जाता था। कुछ दिन तक बहुत इफेक्ट रहता था, पर फिर वही संसार और वही हम हो जाते थे। ऐसा क्यों नहीं होता कि हम हमेशा याद रख सकें ये बात?
Because we are slaves of the mind. This is exactly, last 1 week, what was the main subject? Every day I was speaking only on one subject. What was the subject I was speaking on last 1 week? Do you remember?
Yeah.
I was speaking about consciousness. हमें consciousness nahi hai. When you are in the cremation ground, what you are saying, when you are face to face with a person died. Dasi Budrani is telling today his cousin passed away. Correct? Today, Dasi Budrani is feeling the consciousness. What you're saying, it will last 1 day, 2 days, then we will forget. So the challenge is to stop the mind from destroying our consciousness. We must be in Sat Chit Anand. We must remain in the consciousness of the truth. Abhi you'll tell, is it that I am giving you some bhashan? आपको नहीं पता है क्या? आपको सब पता है. You know everything.
होते हुए भी फिर हम भूल जाते हैं ना.
नहीं, भूल नहीं जाते. Don't आप, you're sorry to, I don't agree with you. भूल नहीं जाते आप. भूल आपको याद है. भूल जाना का मतलब you forget it. No, you don't. आप भूल नहीं जाते हैं. आपको consciousness, आपका consciousness खत्म हो जाता है. आपका, you must, that's why I try to teach you so much. Try to practice consciousness. Try to be in that state of I'm not frozen, I'm silent. I'm performing silence. You are thinking I'm frozen. Dekho, my administrator lost consciousness just now. I'm trying to be frozen and she's saying you've become frozen. So yahi to problem hai na. So people think becoming frozen is a crime. So administrator, the challenge is that we want people to learn to be frozen. Kiran Khaturi, I'm telling her that learn to be frozen.
Consciousness में रहना है.
And see what happens. Consciousness means सत के चित में रहता, आनंदा में रहता, सच्चिदानंदा हाल है वो, सच के एहसास में जीना, आनंदा में. Can you all experience what I experience? Can you all experience? Can you all experience that Sat Chit Ananda? What a bliss it is. What an amazing bliss. Try to get there. Don't keep on thinking, wo Ananda chahiye, but you know, I wanting to eat samosa. So I went to that.
समोसा तो नहीं चाहिए.
समोसा चाहिए आपको?
आनंद चाहिए.
किरण समोसा चाहिए?
नहीं चाहिए. सच्चित आनंद चाहिए.
तो try.
आपको तो 100% है ना. हमें कभी होता है, कभी नहीं होता है. चाहे हमें पता है कि we have to go, we will go, है ना. सब कुछ पता है, पर फिर भी हम भटक जाते हैं.
तो ये भटकना बंद करो ना. Stop this wandering. Stop, because the mind is wandering. Stop this wandering business. That is where you need to learn to be in consciousness. Consciousness is an ocean in which thoughts are like a fish that flow through it. I try to live in consciousness. Try to live in consciousness. You all are not trying. You all are not trying to live in silence. You're not trying to live in consciousness. What do you think? Something is more important. When I told Dasi Budrani, no, you have to be in consciousness. What Dasi Budrani told me? No, I have got important things to do. I have to do important things.
ऐसा कोई important काम नहीं है. Nothing is important than this.
आपके यहाँ आपके आगे पीछे आजू बाजू में कितने लोग हैं, आप उनके देखभाल में आपका जिंदगी निकल जाता है.
कोई नहीं है आजू बाजू में, ज्यादा कोई नहीं है. मैं और मेरे हस्बैंड ही हैं और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम तो कोई आजू बाजू नहीं है. हम ही बेकार हैं.
So what you try,
कोई नहीं है.
Try to be, see, okay, since you're asking the question, let me help you. Try to be in the consciousness that you are the supreme immortal power. Try to be in that ever consciousness. That is what will give you Satchitanand. Try not to lose the consciousness. When the consciousness is lost, bring it back. When the what I told you all, CTBY. Remember what, you know what CTBY? CBTY. You remember? CBTY, CBTY, CBTY. Who remembers?
So come back to yoga.
Come back to yoga. Come back to yoga. Come back to yoga. Come back to yoga. Come back to yoga. CBTY. Come back to yoga. Try to be in yoga. Yoga means not sitting in that one pose and having a fancy Louis Vuitton yoga mat and having some Thailand music playing and some incense sticks that come from Burma. No, don't want all these fancy yoga and fancy meditation. Just be conscious that the divine is everywhere. Feel the breeze. You know, whenever I'm sitting quiet, what do I tell myself? I say, Hawa mein jo shakti, मैं तो वही, मैं ये नहीं. आसमान में जो मस्ती, मैं तो वही, मैं ये नहीं. जो मैं दिखता वो मैं नहीं, सच में तो मैं एक शक्ति, कण कण में मैं वो शक्ति, मैं तो हूँ वो शक्ति. Why can't you repeat like that? Why can't you feel that you are that power? Why do you let the world steal your consciousness? You know, the mind is stealing the consciousness every minute, every minute, every minute, every minute. You have to stand with a sword. Attention! You must be like that with the sword. Are you standing with a sword? Stand with a sword like this. With the mind, I cut. Are you standing like that? Be ready with this. Man उठता, मन को एक थप्पड़ मारो. Man उड़ा थप्पड़ मारो मन को.
Right.
You know, I don't know whether Dasi remembers this story. Let me tell you one story. Since I'm sure Dasi will like this story, but he's not there on the call now, I think. You know, Dada used to say, no, my Guru. You know what my Guru used to say? He would be sitting in the classroom. And that lecture will be going on. And he would be paying a lot of attention to the lecture and in consciousness. He would be paying a lot of attention in consciousness. Suddenly his mind would wander. When his mind would wander, suddenly he would hit him. He would slap. Then everybody would wake up and say, "Kya hua, kya hua?" Then he would say, "No, there was a mosquito biting me." Every time his mind wandered, he would slap himself. Every time a mind wandered, he would slap himself. हम कर सकते हैं?
अब करेंगे.
Next. This is Dada's. Dada used to tell this story very often. Dada used to constantly tell. Whenever the mosquito sitting, he'd slap his face and then tell everybody there was a mosquito on my face.
Thank you.
Ravi, I remember this.
Thank you very much.
You're absolutely right.
So my Guruji was very famous. He's very good in telling stories. He used to help us a lot in stories. Okay, next question, please.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you, Mataji. Next
We
question.
have a question from Gaurish, but it's time up. So should we do it tomorrow?
If one question, we can take last question. What's the question? Quickly.
Sir, when I go to temple or mat, I get divine presence. But in home or outside, I can't get that presence. I will not get the feeling. Usually I go to Ramakrishna mat to get that presence and I meditate there often. Why can't I get presence or consciousness outside?
Because you are feeling the presence there as you're thinking God is there. Have I lost you? Administrator?
Your voice is there, Ed. You can
Okay,
continue.
now, am I back?
Yes, you're back.
So Gaurish, because you're feeling that place like a temple or a church or a mutt has got the divine presence, and therefore every time you go there, you're experiencing that consciousness. And then when you come back, you're leaving your consciousness and coming back. I can give one option if you want. Don't come back from there. Be there only. Try to be there only for 1 day, for 2 days, for 3 days. Tell everybody food also you give there. Of course, what I'm talking may not be practical, right? But what I'm saying, slowly carry your consciousness from the mutt to 10 steps outside the mutt. Take your same divine consciousness outside the gate. Don't leave the gate. If you lose the consciousness, go back. They come out of the gate and have the same consciousness. Then go 5 steps away. You lose the consciousness, go back inside. Then you go 10 steps away. If you lose the consciousness, go back inside. I'm just telling you all some practical ways, my dear friends. See, finally, at the end of the day, we want consciousness. We want bliss. We want meaning. We want purpose. We want our life to be liberated. We want to be united with the divine. Every day we don't stop. We come to this call every day. Every day we are coming, day after day after day after day, because that is the only way. There is no other way. So with that note, let us keep the rest of the Haji for the questions for tomorrow. Bolo Ashok, आप तो हमेशा last पूंछ पे पकड़ते मुझे. Bolo Ashok.
No, Sirji, one mantra for closing today. One mantra.
Bolo, mantra bolo.
Dhan Guru Nanak.
Dhan Guru Nanak.
That's all.
उतना ही.
Bas.
अच्छा. Dhan Guru Nanak. See, Ashok also, he wants only Dhan Guru Nanak. And I am telling, apart from Dhan Guru Nanak, you say the Mool mantra. Ek Omkar, Satnam, say the whole Mool mantra. That is what Guru Nanak would be happy if you say Dhan Guru Nanak, Ashok, it won't help. You can say, I'm not stopping you from saying, but repeat Ek Omkar, Satnam, repeat the Mool mantra fully. That will help.
Sirji, they say early in the morning you should chant Dhan Guru Nanak.
No, you chant for all day, morning to night to evening to every. Otherwise, you're chanting Katrina Kaif is getting married and Aishwarya Rai and Madhuri Dixit and Padmani Kolhapuri. You chant full day. Don't chant only morning, Ashok. Full day you chant. Okay. Namaskar to all. We will see you tomorrow at 8.